Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 209. We're back down in the basement to talk about another week of wrestling.
Unusually, though.
Unusually early, right? So it is currently Wednesday, July 17th. We won't be putting this out till Saturday, whatever the date on that is. You can do that math.
20th.
Sounds good. A week from your birthday. Ooh. But I will be traveling to Montreal with your brother and your mother for a basketball tournament tomorrow from Thursday to Sunday. So we got to get this thing recorded now. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a massive difference for people, honestly, other than our news won't be very current.
No Smackdown, no TNA.
No TNA, no Smackdown, which we barely touch on Smackdown.
Sorry, guys, no TNA this week.
Right? All the millions of people who listen to this.
And news will be pathetic.
And news is pretty pathetic. But the flip side is we're fresh off of watching Dynamite because we just finished it like 10 minutes ago. Including the epic opening match, which we'll talk about. Raw is fresher. I watched all of Raw. You watched some, I think. And NXT, you even watched some with me this week. So we'll still do trivia. We'll still do all that stuff.
Whatever the Wi-Fi would allow.
Timestamps will be here. So if you want to jump ahead through our bantering, then you can do that. Anything you wanted to banter about today?
Oh, I guess Acolyte's finished, which is also fresh because it was yesterday.
Finished. So there may be spoilers if you haven't seen it. Jump ahead a little bit. Talk about Acolyte. What did you think of the finale?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Hancock liked it a lot. I thought it was pretty good, but a little underwhelming in that sense for me.
I liked it, didn't love it, is what I would say.
I wanted more Kymir.
You do.
He kind of got a backseat, but at least it's kind of cool because I'm sure most people will be annoyed with it, but it's very...
Why will most people be annoyed?
All signs are pointing to another season.
Well, yeah.
And people review bombed it.
They don't do these for a one-off generally, right? They're going to leave it open-ended, and then even if they decide not to do another season, they just won't. But
I liked it. I think when Osha was bleeding the crystal and when she killed Soul, that was pretty I was shook by that. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool. I was surprised she actually killed him.
Me too.
And the little Darth Plagueis cameo when...
I didn't even notice,
Osha
really.
And Kymir. Well, I noticed that dark guy in the cave, and honestly, I didn't include that as Plagueis. I was just who was that? Because I think it was when I was looking at my phone or something, so I didn't exactly see how he came in. And then I see later, and my friend was telling me, and it's Darth Plagueis, who's Palpatine's Sith master. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays in. And I do remember the director lady saying there was 2 Sith, so I guess it's him and Kymir in some way, or I don't know how it's going to work out, so it'll be interesting.
Season 2 will have to explain it for us.
It also basically confirmed that Vernestra is Kymir's Jedi Master from when he was...
Right.
Or
Seems that way.
The Stranger is
Which you were sitting there, I'm right, I'm so smart.
The smartest boy in all the land.
Smartest boy in all the land.
Yeah, and then she did a big-time political cover-up.
Right.
Which was kind of a dick move.
That just basically lied about everything.
And just threw Soul under the bus, threw his corpse under the bus.
He's dead, so I guess that makes sense.
But still, dick move, man.
So I enjoyed it, but it could have been better, but we'll definitely watch season 2.
I think people overhated it way too much just because either they didn't want or just because they were too mad about the perceived wokeness of it. Because people review bombed it before it came out or halfway through, and it's hard to judge it when it's not finished.
Yeah.
So
and
as
some
a finished
people
product,
just have an axe to grind, right? I've already seen... We just finished Dynamite, and I already saw people criticizing the opening match. You know what I mean? It's just they're kicking out everything, and it's an hour of nothing matters. And okay, it's not for you, right? It's not for you.
It's dumb, yeah. And so, as a finished product, I think as someone who couldn't have cared less when we started watching it, I literally just watched because it's out, and I'll start it. But I was kind of expecting an Andor type thing where
You watched it because Star Wars.
Yeah. It turned out better than I thought. Because I thought it started off, and then
it's good.
In the middle it found its footing because obviously that one episode was crazy. And then 6, 7 were solid, and then the finale was pretty good. The entire episode flashbacks do take me out of things a little bit, despite them being kind of necessary. Mm-hmm. I wish they're a little more streamlined.
I don't mind them.
Doing an entire episode where it takes you to the current plot, it's then I would have liked maybe you do 10 episodes. You know what I mean? Just because I feel or even just pace it better, because I feel having the entire flashback and then boom, finale was
Yeah, that didn't bother me, but I know you weren't a flashback
just because,
guy.
I do like it, but because episode 6 ends with Osha putting on the helmet, and then we have a whole week goes by nothing, and then she's still, you know what I mean? So I would have liked it to be those are back to back, you know what I mean? So I feel they could have paced it a little nicer, but overall I thought it was solid, and it's not my least favorite thing.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. So
I liked it better than Andor because I finished it.
Yes, you did. That's true. We didn't. How far did we get in Andor? A couple
5
episodes, and then we tapped out.
It was 5 because I remember we watched the first 4 on time. Then we kind of fell behind.
Any of it?
and that's kind of proves my point.
I don't know. I don't remember anything about anything.
That's true.
So,
and then we kind of took a break. Then we watched episode 5. We were going to try to finish it, and then I just didn't want to.
Right. We never went back to it.
Mid.
So I'll be driving 6 hours tomorrow-ish, probably
Part of
longer.
why I'm not going to.
Yeah, you've got work and stuff to do as well.
Well, I could have booked it off. I just didn't want to.
And you know how I like pickleball? Because I got up in the summer
today
to go play pickleball at 8 o'clock today for 2 hours. Very fun.
That you did.
Played well. Wasn't satisfied with yesterday's matches, so I went back today, but it was a good time. Other than that, just hung out in the sun, did some swimming, got packed and ready to go tomorrow. So I don't know what time we're leaving, but we decided to try and knock this off tonight. So we will do that. I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? I don't think there generally is. You're always looking to get past banter.
Not even that I'm looking to get past that. I'm not interested.
You don't find our lives very interesting. There's not much to talk about.
I'm just like,
it's true.
Now that there's no acolyte, what am I going to do?
Exactly. We'll have to purposely do things throughout the week.
There's no bad
and make
batch,
notes for banter.
What do I do with my life?
I don't know. But I am looking to not be up super late, and we're pushing 11 o'clock already.
I might pull an all-nighter.
So I say we get into talking about some wrestling. First segment is what we always start with. It's taking a look at very few, because there's not much so far, but nonetheless, wrestling news and rumors. All right, so ratings, I mean, that's going to be one difference. I don't have Dynamite's ratings because it just finished. So all of you people that tuned in because I guess you can't read
the ratings.
You can't read them, so you need to hear audio.
Viewers and then the TNA fans.
But I do have NXT.
Out of luck.
So this week's episode of NXT averaged 610,000 viewers, down 7%, earned a .20 in the key demographic, down 16.7. But they were facing stiff competition up against the MLB All-Star Game that drew something like 7.5 million people and a 1-point-something rating. So tougher competition than usual, numbers down slightly. Any news about my news is rough.
So boring, I didn't even bother to write it down. Dustin Rhodes' contract's up in September.
That's a shame. Really
I don't
hope
know.
They renew him.
In 2023, he said it was his last full-time year, and here he is still doing things. So
yeah,
or last year wrestling. I don't know.
You can go sign a Legends contract with WWE.
Yeah, I'd take a gold Dust Elite with like the interchangeable face paint heads. Yeah, sure.
I'm kind of over Dustin at this point. Like, yes, he has pretty decent matches for his age.
Is he the worst old man in wrestling? No, the Hardys still exist.
Do I want to see him in matches in 2024?
No.
Also, no.
So do I want to see the Hardys anywhere? No.
One story I had involving Ric Flair. Did you hear about any of this?
Maybe.
His plans were he wanted to betray Sting one final time.
Didn't he do that, but then they kind of did the cop-out where it was like fake or something?
And what a surprise. Ric Flair wanted to make Sting's retirement about himself. That is so shocking to hear and out of character. So he wanted the match to go exactly as it did, except he would have turned heel and gotten laid out by Sting at the end. Flair believes the crowd would have loved it because it's Ric Flair, and the crowd is supposed to love everything.
He's not entirely wrong, because they're very nostalgia-driven, as we've seen.
And he thinks it would have given him a direction to go in as a heel after Revolution.
Oh, see, that's so
stupid. No, nobody wants to see you do anything. Well, that's not true. Some people do.
Some people are dumb.
A lot of people don't.
People are dumb. It doesn't mean that they're right. That just means that that's what they
so
want.
Basically, Sting's retirement should have been about him getting
at least
involved
partially,
and set up a heel run for him after that. So guess what? No, wouldn't have loved it.
I'm glad.
We just wanted you gone, and now you are, and that's
I'm glad
amazing.
It was just the energy drink that stuck around.
And it was short-lived.
Yeah.
So they're gone as well. So anything else you have?
The only thing I had was that quote, more care is going to be put into the ROH TV tapings.
Okay. You could have put less.
That's true.
There's only one way to go from the bottom.
Apparently the tapings in Texas, I think this Saturday will be the start of that like 4-week stay where they're in that one place. So they'll be able to be consistent. The champions are supposed to be more prominently featured, which seems like a base thing you would do.
I'm sure when we watch every minute of ROH, we'll notice a large difference because we would miss a minute of it.
That's cool, I guess. I don't.
The fact that it's still existing is honestly a bit surprising to me.
It is. Well,
I don't know what service it's providing.
It can't be like...
Who is watching this? If you watch Ring of Honor, please email us.
Unless it's a huge financial burden, but like the cons are loaded, so it can't be like... I don't know if it can die unless they kill it.
I guess.
I think it's in that kind of
Them
position.
con deep pockets.
It's like how TNA managed to not die 50,000 times.
TNA is the cockroach of wrestling.
TNA is the cockroach.
You cannot
wrestling.
kill it.
Like,
it should have died.
They
5,
have
6
no
times.
right to have been able
No,
to
of
change
course
their
not.
name so many times and live through it.
Dixie Carter's family money, I think, was
Dixie
a lot
Carter,
of it.
and like then they had to deal with Hogan and like
EC3's family money. Sorry.
that's just. But yeah, ROH lives on.
So
It's a dying.
I guess it's somehow
Bleeding
survives.
out.
Yep, can't kill it. Stevie Richards, I've been watching him. He's what is it called? WSI. I think it's Wrestling Shoot Interviews. I forget the guy that hosts it. He's pretty good. Anyways, he's ended his relationship with Shane Douglas and is talking to Stevie Richards. And I like Stevie, so I've listened to some of his stuff. So I was telling you about did a little bit about Goldberg and how dangerous and reckless.
This is the news.
No. So
Okay,
I told
okay.
you about that, and he said basically he agrees with Bret Hart. Goldberg's a sweet. He actually used the word sweet. He's like a sweet guy, but in the ring he is not safe and he is reckless to work with. And his argument was he hurts himself as much as he hurts other people by doing stuff. But anyways, so he said that in his lifetime, Stevie Richards, that is, only one wrestler was more reckless and dangerous than Goldberg. Care to guess? So it was his time in WWE, I'll give you that. Short-lived big man who was not good.
Matt Morgan,
No.
Luther Reigns,
No.
Nathan Jones.
No. So
No.
I think he was a face and a heel. And then
Tyson Tomko.
No.
Damn.
But you're in the
Snitsky.
area, I guess. No.
Oh, damn it.
He
Because if it was
I have
Snitsky,
the
you could
hint
just say it's not his fault.
that'll give it to you.
Well, no,
Became part of a legendary tag team briefly.
Legendary. Oh, wait. Oh, Heidenreich.
Correct. He said Heidenreich was the absolute worst. Because he said wrestling
Damn.
Goldberg.
I was like, yeah, tiptoeing around
Wrestling
that.
Goldberg for 90 seconds was as much punishment as some 30-minute matches for him. But that Heidenreich was even worse.
Heidenreich.
The only other bit of news I have, other question. It's all in the form of questions for you because there's nothing going on.
Okay.
Who is Braun Breaker dating? Oh, you don't know?
I know it used to be Cora Jade. I don't know anymore.
Hot Goss.
Is it one
What's
of the
that
rave,
from?
Is it one of the
What
rave
was
girls?
Hot Goss from?
That's Amy from Superstore.
Oh, Superstore,
Is it
right?
one of the rave girls? I don't
It's
know.
not one of the rave girls.
Is it someone on Raw?
It is not someone on Raw.
So it's
It's a wrestler on
it-
NXT.
on NXT.
Correct.
Is it Cora Jade still?
It is not.
'Kay.
If this is true, we may be trading in rumors and speculation, but it's a slow news week,
'Kay, so
and the segment is called News and Rumors. So
Oh, JC Jane.
no,
Jasmine Nix, the rookie.
No.
Fallon Henley.
no.
Okay, just give me.
She
oh, wait.
had a match this week
Perez.
on NXT. Had a match this week.
Did she? I don't know.
Did you see that match? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you
Just-
did. She lost. She may have lost to Tatum Paxley.
Who? Wait. Who?
Oh.
Is he Dame really?
Correct.
Yeah.
Allegedly, I don't know if allegedly sounds like a crime or something. It's not. It's fine.
Because I know
Good
like
for them. I don't know.
I
There's no
guess.
news this week.
Because I was thinking this week, I know like Kalani's with Mello, Ruka's with Bate,
Right.
Hale's with Fraser.
These people dating people at their workplace.
Uh,
Come on.
That's all I got. But like,
I've only worked in the same workplace as the person I'm married to for 20 years.
yeah, it's nerd.
Works for us. Yeah, apparently everything newsworthy in wrestling happens Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right?
guess.
Because Monday to Wednesday, everyone just takes a break.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
like
that's all
it's
I got
just
for you.
sad, I guess.
So that's going to end that. I mean,
That is gonna end
riveting news. And now
Braun
we'll
Breaker has a new female, guys.
We'll get into a show that's super fresh in our minds because we just watched it. It's our in-depth review of this week's AEW Dynamite. All right, so tell me about Dynamite. I feel like I was saying it might be a bit quicker because half of the show was one match,
Spoiler.
basically, right?
Spoiler.
So tell me about it. Remind me of the match.
All right, getting off is Ospreay versus MJF for the International Championship, which was quite the thing.
And it was
that
another
happened.
one of those where I'm like, it's starting off pretty slow. I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty long match, but I wasn't expecting it to be that long.
I was not either.
No.
I should have probably,
Yeah.
but I didn't. There was a quick back and forth early on. Ospreay hits a topic on heel to the outside. MJF at the stunner was like, he had him for a back suplex and kind of flipped Ospreay over into a stunner for a two, so that was kind of cool.
It was.
Kind of like how Breaker does that same move, but into a cutter.
Yeah.
Like he
he had a
was kinda
couple
doing that.
cutter variations that were
Yeah.
nice.
MJF caught Ospreay slingshotting in the ring with a mid-air cutter for 2.
That's the one.
Ospreay avoided a heat seeker connected to springboard forearm, which I think he calls the Pip Pip Cheerio.
Oh, like yeah. Good old British lad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Picture perfect cartwheel moonsault over the ropes from Ospreay to the outside. That looked awesome.
It did.
Just graceful. He did like that Andrade double moonsault, the fake out thingy. But instead of hitting the standing moonsault, he landed on his feet on that and then hit a shooting star. And then that got a 2 count. He then hit the leap of faith, not the sky twister. Excalibur's calling the wrong move. The leap of faith from the middle rope for 2. They've done it before too.
They do. You correct them all the time.
And I know the difference.
You do.
This is like Fear Factor all over again, except they've called the sky twister before he was signed. So it's like revisionist history here. Ospreay grabbed the timekeeper's table and put it at ringside. That wouldn't come into play for a little while.
I like that. There's one of my notes is that the table comes out early. They tease it a bunch of times, and then
I kind of like that. It was a little more surprising. Yeah,
satisfying use of it too.
Really killer pile driver from MJF for 2. Ospreay like bounced up on that.
Yes.
There's a lengthy back and forth.
Stuck him
in the figure 4 until Ospreay got to the ropes. Double clothesline collision. Ospreay counter brainbuster with a stun dog millionaire, followed up with a Oz cutter, but MJF slowly rolled out of the ring before he could be pinned. Ospreay missed the Oz cutter in the apron and smacked hard. Butterfly shoulder breaker from MJF, which always looks nasty somehow.
It does. I love it. I love a good shoulder breaker.
Mm-hmm. And he follows with the main Japan for 2, which they commentary called as the first time he's hit that. Absolutely not. Handspring corkscrew kick from Ospreay per the usual. Torture rack, like a Blue Thunderbomb type move from Ospreay for 2. There's a crowd brawling for a second time. A child hit MJF.
Yeah, I had that too. Some little girl, I think it was, just started smacking him in the stomach. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Super kick in the corner to an upside down Ospreay, followed by the Panama Sunrise from MJF for 2.
Would have been funnier if like security came and tackled her and started pummeling her or something.
Ospreay took the Panama Sunrise perfectly.
Yes.
Like, it was crisp.
Looked great.
Running boot from MJF with Ospreay seated against a chair on a chair against the barricade. MJF went for the crossroads, which I always liked when he was feuding with Cody and did the crossroads. They called it the double cross, which I thought was always cool. Ospreay reversed into one of his own for a 2 count. MJF distracts the ref, pokes Ospreay in the eyes, then a double foot stomp to the injured left arm, and a nasty hammerlock cradle DDT for 2, which is just, it's a move he's been doing semi-regularly and it just looks nasty.
A lot of stuff that would be like great for targeting somebody's neck, it felt like.
Yeah. Back and forth on the apron, ends with a Styles clash there from Ospreay, which is pretty nice. Hidden blade to the face from Ospreay for 2. MJF caught an Oz cutter attempt and he connected the tombstone pile driver for 2. He mocked the Crown's up hand gesture at one point, which is
we
funny.
laughed.
Then like MJF avoided something on the outside and he was talking smack to the crowd, and then Ospreay like came perfectly through the middle and bottom
Awesome
of like
camera.
a diving hidden blade that it was perfectly shot with the camera work there. Diving form to the back and neck from Ospreay for 2. MJF went for a Frankenstein. Ospreay caught him. Avalanche Styles clash for a 2 count. MJF got a rope break. Heat seeker on the apron from MJF. A perfect diving elbow drop through the timekeeper's table from MJF.
Looked great.
Eventually paid off.
It did.
MJF hits that powerbomb backbreaker he's done before for 2, which also looks nasty. Ospreay went for an avalanche poison rana. MJF lands on his feet. He connected with the corner clothesline. Then he went for a Frankenstein. Ospreay lands on his feet.
You're not surprised when Ospreay does it, but even you said in the moment you sometimes forget how athletic MJF is because he hides it a little bit, right?
He does hide. He just busts it out every now and then.
Yeah, it was
even
crazy.
the diving elbow. Like he only does stuff like that sparingly.
Looked great.
Fantastic strike exchange. Then a lot of back and forth pins off a sunset flip. MJF catches an Oz cutter midair with a super kick. Then Ospreay counters a brainbuster with a stun dog millionaire again, followed by a poison rana this time. MJF then came back with forearm and Ospreay hit a Spanish fly for 2. Ospreay avoided MJF's attempt at the avalanche tombstone that he hit to Garcia a couple weeks back, and he hit an avalanche cutter with a hidden, followed by a hidden blade for a really great near fall. We have a minute left as Ospreay's lining up for the Tiger Driver, and he's about to hit it, but he kind of backs out. Then MJF sends him into the referee. Ring shot from MJF, and MJF wins with literally 1 second left.
Very surprised by this.
I was super surprised by the ending, but perfectly timed, like impressively so.
Yeah, so they're saying I saw 59:58. So
I saw that, but then I saw like someone posted it and the Tron had 1 second left. So I don't know. I also thought it was 2 seconds left. So because I wrote with seconds remaining. So
very surprised by the finish. But I guess, does that mean that basically Ospreay, because he wouldn't hit that move, cost himself?
I think so, and that's kind of the story they've been telling, right? Like that it's been kind of screwing him over.
Yeah, so I don't know how it was everywhere else, but here where we were watching it in Canada, we didn't get our first picture-in-picture until 41 minutes into this match. And actually, the picture-in-picture didn't last the whole time, remember?
It was weird. The
There was,
one
like,
commercial break,
full commercials.
we didn't get anything.
Right.
And then we got like these weird cutouts a couple times in the show, like just in general. I think there was one here, right? Because it wasn't like they went in the picture-in-picture and then nothing happened, and then like they came back and they were like, and that was when MJF spat on him.
Right.
Remember there was that.
And then he sort of fired up. So
yeah,
the finish was pretty surprising to me. It does drive home that we're back to full heel MJF, right? Like ring use, and he took every shortcut in this, like classic, like using the ropes for leverage on an abdominal stretch and eye gouging and whatever
even
else.
just like the taunting towards the fans and whatnot.
And it protects Ospreay a little bit too, right? Because he got knocked out with the ring. So obviously, not obviously, because people are already complaining about it, but in my opinion, fantastic match. One of
the best TV matches of the year because it was like pay-per-view quality.
That's one of my next note, right? A pay-per-view quality matchup, world-class heel and babyface. MJF looked great while in control. Full heel shenanigans on display, limb targeting, because it was arm and leg.
It was knee for a while, and then it was arm.
Right,
left, so it kind of switched, yeah.
Ospreay sold really well, played the resilient babyface too, and obviously he delivers his offense like virtually perfectly, everything with high degree of difficulty. But I think like in this, I really noticed he makes everything look good from MJF. MJF looked like a killer in this, I thought, with some of the stuff, the high impact stuff he was hitting.
That pile driver literally bounced off the mat was pretty crazy.
So MJF deserves a lot of credit here, obviously. I like the introduction of the table early because it gets the fans. I get annoyed by the "we want tables" chant, so it's kind of like, here it is, tease, 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 and then satisfying use of it.
It's Chekhov's table.
Right. I think you add this to the list of Ospreay's unbelievable matches in 2024, and like I think we said last week or week before, barring something crazy, this guy,
unless MJF like comes out swinging this year, which he could, because he had a good year last year.
Might be the easiest wrestler of the year for us, all time, male wrestler. Although Omega was a pretty easy choice, I feel. But
that was also when Roman was still at his peak.
But amazing match, super strong start to the 250th episode. Made it feel special right out of the gate, right?
Yeah. And it's not often we get like the match where it takes up half the show. We've seen it a few times, like the Hangman Danielson time limit draw comes to mind. But it's used sparingly, and when they do it well.
Yeah, I'm not sure any match needs to be an hour, but I mean, I still had a good time watching this, so I don't complain too much. Awesome opener, obviously.
It was a great way to start the show. It was fantastic, and like you said, a pay-per-view quality match in action and certainly in length. But because both these guys are amazing, I don't know why I expected it to be like a regular 20-something minute TV match.
Right.
That's on me for being stupid.
And I had a timer running. I had a stopwatch going.
Yeah, because I asked you, and like you said, it was like 36 or something when we checked, which like because it did feel long, and not even in like a negative way. It's just like it definitely felt like a marathon.
And in my notes, as we approached 50 minutes, like around 48 or so, like the pace was starting to get crazy. So they really went nuts for the last almost 10 minutes.
And great in-ring storytelling between the knee targeting and then the later one with the shoulder and the arm. And MJF looked smart and he looked vicious throughout here. A lot of great back and forth action, big moves aplenty, a lot of nasty strikes, and some of MJF's offense was gnarly, and some wild athleticism on both ends. And like I said, you forget MJF's fully capable of some of those feats, so that's always nice for him to bust out. And one of the things I like was like he mockingly went for the kangaroo kicks. I like that's kind of switched around. There's a lot of great near falls in the ladder stretch, and it really looked like it could go either way. Like when Ospreay hit the avalanche cutter and the hidden blade, I thought that was it.
Yes.
I was legitimately surprised by MJF's kick out there. This is made a little better to me by like a legitimately shocking result. Like
Same.
It could have gone either way, but I was definitely leaning towards Ospreay, partially because I was pulling for Pac Ospreay.
I am disappointed that seems to be off the table now.
But I figured he had it, so but good for MJF, and the finish is a return to form for him, so it makes sense.
Right.
They subverted the expectations of a time limit draw, because when you get that close, you assume, they're going to do a time limit draw. And that was kind of my second expectation. Once we start getting close there, I was like, okay, he's not going to do the Tiger Driver. He's going to maybe hit Stormbreaker too late, time limit. But they pulled it out like at the last second. It's kind of like how in the Cole MJF time limit draw, which was the 30-minute, they like timed it perfectly to do a draw. This one they timed it perfectly, like, because if they were off by a second or two, then it's screwed.
I also feel like, I don't remember, maybe I missed it, but I don't feel them calling the time or anything.
He only called it when there was 1 minute left, which is when Ospreay was going for the
when
tire
they're like,
driver.
oh, we got a half hour in and 30 minutes left, or whatever.
I only remember Roberts calling it when they had 1 minute
Right.
left, and then obviously anything else closer. But yeah, so great match from two of the best around currently. I'm interested to see where we go. Ospreay losing twice in like a less than a month span is pretty crazy to me. I hope for Ospreay, like, we could do Ospreay Pac MJF for the title all in.
That'd be fun.
I would even be willing to wager that Garcia works his way in there for a 4-way.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Me too.
And maybe he pulls out an upset. I don't know.
Although
I feel like MJF would get a decent run with it. I don't know. Anyways, I feel like we could get some sort of forward there because Pac is next in line, but Ospreay got screwed, and Garcia's got to be coming for payback. So
Right.
It feels like kind of like the Heat Wave 4-way where everyone's got an axe to grind and it'll kind of converge.
I hope so. That'd be a fun match.
That would be a big time match, so I'm happy for that. And it would be a more excusable way to get Garcia on there. No offense.
No offense. Like him, but one of these things is not like the other.
Then we get an interview with the Acclaimed and Mark Briscoe, and for the first time in forever, I think this is all my own notes.
Yeah, because you can't
Rely on
borrow from John.
TJR is not fast enough.
He's not.
What's wrong with you? You should be like a machine
I
by
did
now.
find someone who is. He literally does it as he's going.
Nah. He's not the same. Caster says they know Briscoe is in blood and guts and he needs partners, and he talked about them beating the Bucks, so they're a no-brainer. Bowen says they're this close to winning the tag titles. They want a piece of the Bucks' asses. Briscoe says they had his back a few weeks ago, and he says they're in. He says he's not the only one calling the shot, and Swerve comes in. Swerve says they've had their squabbles, so he knows what they're about. He says there's no better people to go war with than people you've done battle with, so he asks if they're ready. Briscoe says they're coming for the lead, and he signs off like he usually does. I honestly forgot about Swerve in the Acclaim's history until just now. Like, when they were talking about the segment, I was confused.
I wasn't ringing a
But
ton of bells.
Swerve in Our Glory.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
See that? See, I didn't.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So this is kind of a strange group of people to put together.
But it makes sense in a way.
And I'm not sure the Acclaimed fit in this style of match, but
No.
it's also leaving room for us to be really impressed by them in that environment,
That's
which
true.
I look forward to.
That's
'cause
kind of
a
like
good
how
feeling.
in 2004, Orton had that really good showing against Mick Foley. So
Or
it's
like Anna Jay and whoever it was
Yeah.
in the women's one, like just
Exactly,
being like,
imagine
man,
like
I
that.
was expecting them not
right.
to be.
Exactly.
So
So we'll see what they're capable of. Because it's not like Darby and Briscoe where I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Or even Swerve.
And Briscoe just makes me smile when he talks, and even when he was just like mugging behind Swerve, he's an entertaining guy. So we'll see where this goes.
I would do kind of wish it was Briscoe, Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly in there just because they've been a cool little group.
Yeah.
I hope after this is all done that we kind of resume that as a
You can
trio
hope. One can dream.
because the conglomeration's was real fun. But yeah, solid segment here. Not a lot, but brings forth an expected development. Like I figured the Acclaim was going to be there.
Yeah.
And if Darby's the last man as expected, that's even more interesting since Swerve talked about his history with these guys, and then
Right.
Swerve and Darby have quite the history as well. So
And Swerve and Hangman.
and Swerve and Hangman. Then we get quote Chris Jericho's experiment to see how much I value my eyes and ears.
We get a cool down after a hot match, I put. Got to let the
So
crowd
I
relax
wrote
and zone out.
I'm gonna try to be civil, which is starting now.
My first note says, my God, is this hard to pay attention to?
Oh, I am. The second they said it was coming or his theme hit or whichever was first, I audibly groan every time.
Yep, it's rough.
like the Outcast, but arguably worse.
And then
Like I don't
Yeah,
know, I
it's
groan
bad.
just as much. At this stage, I groan more with Jericho, but it's either way, really. Big Bill introduces Jericho. I don't care to do a play-by-play on what he said. I already forgot. Jericho talks about the city there, and I don't know where it is. Don't tell me, because I don't care. Don't tell me.
I forget.
It doesn't matter. He says it's a high crime city and they can do better. And I said this is a crime on live TV.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
That does
the
not
Simmons
matter to
Bank
me.
Arena.
I don't care. I only remember the Kia Forum. That is it. All right. He talks about being on the first Dynamite and being on most of them since, which I can attest to.
Yep, it's fact.
He claims the branches complained when he was gone. That is so not true. I object. And he'll be on everyone till 500. And I wrote in brackets, no.
Yeah, that's another long time.
I don't know if it's serious, but it's like if there's a possibility of that even being possible at all,
It's
I
possible.
will cry.
For sure.
I'm gonna cry. He says people are getting hurt when they don't listen to him. Then we get on their little TV, the Jaretron or whatever, the replay of Shibata Hook and Joe getting taken out. Joe went through the wall.
Fireballs and soft forklift spots and
chairs,
various
and stuff.
things.
Jericho says this has to stop, and I said out of context,
Agreed.
I couldn't agree more.
We
I could not
are
agree
in
more.
lockstep on that one.
I completely agree with you. I just wrote, I really wish I didn't have to listen to the learning tree.
Yeah.
That's just me. Minoru Suzuki comes to my rescue. Long story short, title match next week. No seconds at ringside. Also, I forgot to mention, Brian Keith looked really stupid in his vest.
So, is FTW matches not basically Extreme Rules?
It is.
And if so, how do you
it's a
ban
rule.
somebody? And how do you put stipulations and rules on a title match for a title you don't recognize in your company? It's not a real title. So anyways, I don't like this. I loved Prime or even slightly past Prime Suzuki, but this is not what we're getting here
A, it's
either.
not that, and B, I know it's not going to lift up Jericho, which is my main gripe.
I just don't have any interest in this group. I don't have any interest in a match with Suzuki at Blood and Guts. So my note says I'll likely make food during this match, right? So yeah, I don't know. It happened. It was a low point on the show for sure.
To put it politely, this was about as enjoyable as usual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's exactly what it delivered on expectations.
Which is not a compliment.
Put it that way.
The match we're getting is expected and unwelcome, so that's nice, I guess.
Correct.
Suzuki has no chance of winning, and he's not overly exciting at this stage in his career, so...
This is just a low mid-card act and angle, right? So whatever. Give it a couple minutes and move on. You know?
Someone save me from this. I just want it to stop. That's all I want.
Maybe someday.
I just want it to stop. Then we get the Elite backstage. Nick says the Acclaimed won't be 2-time champs on their watch. And Matt says they're the greatest faction in AEW history. They'll have all the power after next week and all the titles. But then Nick corrects him. And he says Swerve's going to vacate the title after next week or something. Manea walks by, thanks them for banning Baker from the building this week. Matt says there will be no drama from the DMD to the CEO thanks to the EVPs because...
It's a lot of acronyms
in
there.
AEW.
Yeah.
Monet does her little dance at their request and leaves, and Okada's fanning himself.
Yeah, Okada's like swooning over Monet basically being there. So he made me laugh again. And
love Okada.
We say this every week, but Monet needs to just join them.
Yeah, it's just teasing them further.
The fit is there.
To happen.
Yeah.
It's like they know that I want it, and they're just not going to actually give it to me.
Nope.
But I love Okada, and
he's funny.
He's the light of my life.
Wow. Okay.
I'm just kidding. Next, we got Mercedes Moné versus Nyla Rose for the TBS title.
Sorry, Nyla earned this title shot by...
not being Britt Baker. No. That's literally it.
Yeah.
It's an open challenge to not Britt Baker.
Congratulations, Nyla Rose.
More so,
I like Nyla, but I was like, okay.
I'm more so questioning the choice just because we've just been establishing Moné as a heel. We've just been working to establish this, and then you put her up against Nyla Rose, who's I don't think ever been a baby face.
Not a face now?
Not someone people really have been rooting for. So it's like
I like her, but I don't know if she's a baby.
I don't hate her. Like she's never been my favorite, but like she's fine.
There's a spot for her in a company. I feel like
for sure.
She's your monster, usually heel. Maybe not anymore. I don't know.
Monster face isn't a thing.
Monster face.
It's not a thing. Moné went for a tilt-a-whirl DDT. Rose blocks it, drops Moné on the top rope, and then does that diving knee drop for 2, which looked pretty good.
Did it. The way Moné like flipped really fast down looked good.
Yeah, it looked good. Body block in the corner from Rose. Then she clobbers Moné with a lariat. Cannonball in the corner for 2 from Rose. Vader bomb from Moné followed by a basement knee in the corner. Diving meteor from the middle rope from Moné for 2. Moné connects with an avalanche bulldog. She pulls out a CEO glove and puts Rose in the lockjaw, and then Rose bites down on her hand.
The commentary is like, she doesn't know how to apply it well because Britt Baker is a dentist. So...
she's just better at like briefing on your jaw or something.
She just knows what angle to pull out your mouth, I guess.
I guess so.
That's one of the units you learn in dental college.
The art of...
if you did want to hurt somebody, this is how you would do it.
Because also dentists are putting their hand in your mouth like that.
Right. So without a degree, Moné cannot apply it correctly. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess.
Then Moné just puts her in the bank statement and wins by submission. There's someone in a sting mask. Oh, it's Britt Baker, security, something.
I did notice the sign earlier on in the match, but...
should have done the ring bell and then would have stopped.
Yeah. Should have. Because that's the universal sign to stop doing things.
Stop fighting.
The match itself was fine. I don't know. Like, and they kind of telegraphed when it's, Britt Baker is banned from the backstage area. What?
Honestly, when I
What
wrote
does
it
that
down,
do?
I just thought she was banned from the building, so I never even put that
They
together.
framed it as backstage area to telegraph for us.
I
right?
honestly never even put that together.
I think they could use Nyla more than they do, but I guess it's a successful
without
defense.
without Vicky Guerrero for Vicious Vixens, what are they going to do with
Right.
her?
And Baker's just trying to add heat to their angle, so it's fine. I didn't do a lot for me.
It was a fine match. It kind of had a tough act to follow, so sucks to suck. I'm surprised Rose got in so much at
She did
Money's
get a
expense. So, yeah, and then the Baker line on commentary is funny. The post match was fine. It was quick, furthers the angle, but there's not much to it.
Nope.
Then we get a quick Mariah May package.
She's cosplaying Toni Storm and looks just like her. My God.
That was after.
Oh,
This
sorry.
is the package.
Oh, right,
which
right,
was
right.
just like, I think it was mostly sound bites from previous promos. It might have completely been, and there was just like highlights from last week. But
Which
May
was
looks killer. It
awesome.
was simple. It was good.
I was glad to see that heel turn. So for me, that's a memorable heel turn like Dakota Kai's. I'll never forget her turn on Tegan Knox, right? In NXT. And this one felt similar. Like, it looked great and it was memorable. And I don't know. I liked it.
And good, predictable.
Yes, right.
Well, I didn't think it would happen then. It was just like we all knew it was coming.
Well, even May
eventually.
talked about it in the promo. Like, we all knew this was coming, right?
That's
and the
true.
only one that didn't was Tony.
That's true. And Luther, because he's a big dummy
Yeah.
from the Nightmare Collective. Then we get Jack Perry backstage. He asked if Darby really had to go and hurt Brandon Cutler last week, and asked if you think he really gives a shit about Cutler. Then he proceeds to beat him up and tells Darby to meet him in the ring, and he'll show him a real sacrifice. This is fine. It was amusing that Perry he's taking out one of his own guys in theory.
It's a super badass heel move to go, you think you have leverage because you'll hurt people I care about or that whatever.
He doesn't care.
I will beat the hell out of them myself. So now what are you going to do?
Exactly. I like
it's
that.
a pretty cool play.
Yeah, good for Perry. I enjoy him. Then we hear from Mariah May in the ring. So yeah, she enters cosplay this time as Toni Storm, and
Looks
I
just
knew
like
it was her this time because A, we were supposed to get a promo from her. B, you can't fool me twice because there was I think it was at Revolution when she had the match with Purrazzo.
Yeah.
And remember it was the old Toni Storm music, and I was excited because I
Thought
was
it
like,
was her.
no more stupid Toni
Exact- yeah.
Storm.
Nope.
And then it was Mariah May.
Yeah.
That one got me good, but I'll be damned if they're gonna fool me twice.
They look very similar when they're done up the same.
Yeah, for sure. May says everyone saw it coming except Storm, like you said. A woman so desperate for the spotlight she didn't realize she was giving it all away.
Remember Shivani gets all fired up and
Yeah,
calls
she
her
called
a
her.
bitch?
Yeah, she was like, "Talk, bitch," and I was like,
They're like, whoa, Tony, relax.
"Yeah." Even commentary was like, "Just calm down." That's how you see. Bitch is a bad word in wrestling. That proves it right there.
Yeah.
Can't be saying that. She says the question should be why she did it. It should be why did it take her so long. She said she didn't think it would last this long either, but it was so easy and she had so much fun stringing Storm along, and she wanted to see how far it would go. But then she saw Wembley and she thought, why take the old horse out back when she can kill it in front of as many people as possible?
Awesome.
That's hardcore. She says now she can be so much more, and she tells Tony not to worry. She still loves her, and she's never loved her more than last week, which was her greatest performance. She says her greatest performance, that being Mariah, will come at All In because now AEW is all about Mariah.
She's really good, man. And
Yeah, I
like,
thought this was great.
I thought the second half was way better, and like she performed the heck out of what she had. She's really comfortable. She's really confident. And again, I'm surprised because you pointed out she's 25 last week to me. And I put here, I hope she enjoys her time in AEW before WWE signs her to her next contract because she's exactly the type of talent they will target.
Yeah,
she's young.
They will take her.
She's young. She's good. She's beautiful.
She's blonde.
She's got all the stuff they want, right? So
yeah, she's like, she would have probably fit the look of the Divas era, except she's actually a good wrestler.
Mm-hmm. And she can act and she can speak. So she's at her age, the package that she is,
literally the total package
She's
for
very
wrestling,
good.
which is a relief because when
she
they
is
were
the
hyping
Lex Luger of 2024.
No, that's no. Not at all.
Ironically named the total package. When
Yeah.
he couldn't wrestle. That's not true. He could barely wrestle.
Well, I don't think he was known for being charismatic either.
No, if you put him in with a superstar, he was
Flair.
okay. Yeah, probably.
But
Some sting.
like, because when May they were hyping her debut up for weeks because she debuted on the first Dynamite of the year, right?
Yep.
And they hyped it up for a while, and I was definitely concerned because, like, you know, we had the whole Taya Valkyrie fiasco,
Mm-hmm.
And even like I don't think Purrazzo is up to snuff.
No, they didn't present her. You can't bring her in as a baby face. They really,
I feel like
really
she's been kind of healing against Thunder Rosa,
Good.
which is Exhibit C, because Thunder Rosa's also been disappointing because we used to like her.
Yes.
So May has been a pleasant surprise because I think she's just been great all around. And really she hasn't faltered much yet.
No, she's really good.
And for how young she is, how little she's been here, she's one of my favorites in the division for sure.
Yep.
But this was really good. I thought she sounded great, and like she sounded smart for playing the long con, and like it got her close, it got her in the tournament, it got her title shot, it got her the spotlight.
Right.
And I thought this reminded me a lot of Christian's ploy when he turned on Jurassic Express, but his whole thing was to manage them to get money off of them, which remember like that was kind of weird, and it was just based off being an elimination in a battle royal. And this felt like a smarter version of that.
This is like to get the title, right? Get close to her.
To get the title, but also because like it's not like Storm did something and May's just being petty. She just did this because that's what
diabolical.
Yeah.
Which
I honestly like better. So she was vicious last week, and I liked her rubbing in everyone's face with the fake out entrance.
Machiavellian villain.
So far so good on this build. I thought this was great. It's a shame that the other half will have to be carried by Goofy Tony Storm. If May doesn't win it all in, man, what are we doing?
I think she will.
She has to.
I think she will.
She has to, because I think she's fantastic, and like that's someone you could build the division around if she doesn't get stolen
and get back to like serious stuff.
Her
Storm, can
you could do her and
elsewhere.
Willow as like a legit title feud
at
some point, because Willow's fantastic too.
She is.
Recap of last week's trios titles incident, which I hate so much. It's so dumb.
I just like how this went from you could pry these from our cold dead fingers to here you go, like within 20 seconds.
Yeah.
We're going to
basically, so the Bang Bang Gang gets stripped of the titles because White's out, and apparently Christopher Daniels has never heard of the Freebird rule ever.
No.
Like, so now it's them versus Christian's guys for the vacant titles that they just gave up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even care about them handing the titles over because he gave them like a consequence or whatever. So whatever, that's fine. But I hate this so much because vacating the titles is so stupid. If you're just going to give them a chance to win the back, just force them to defend the titles.
It's a different combination.
But
it's a different team.
If you had them defend the titles, there would be no difference.
Just swap people in.
Yes, you can.
Why?
The New Day did that forever.
That's a different company.
The Fabulous Freebirds established this
different company,
years ago.
Sir.
That does not matter.
Matters.
That does not matter.
Can't just swap people out.
Or like
I
they've
can't
done
just roll in with a group
forever.
of 8 guys and go, we're just going to decide who it is every time.
What do you mean? This has been a thing for ever. This is not the no quarter cash crew.
It's a thing for limited periods of times with limited groups that are like deemed special enough to do it.
But then why can't we just why can't we just switch it to them? Like they agree to keep it permanently with Juice.
Because he didn't win it.
This has been an established thing in pro wrestling.
Only for like brief periods of time. It's not
it's
a
still an
forever
established thing though.
An established thing
dumb.
like for moments in time, not like perpetually.
It's so dumb.
No, it makes sense.
Dumb.
Dude had nothing to do with winning the titles. Why would he be able to defend it?
Dumb. Because he's rock hard.
And you just are like, Freebird rules because I like this group.
Yes.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Duly noted.
How dare you?
No bias at all.
There's some bias, but also because this is a thing that has happened.
Like 5 times in the history of wrestling.
Yeah, so why can't we make it 6?
Okay.
Quarters of the trios champions. Come on.
Sure.
If they don't win the titles back, so help me God.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
They might not.
They better not. I love Christian, but like screw you. I don't need you. I only want Bang Bang Gang.
And then they'll get Freebird rules.
There's only 3 of them. What is Mother Wayne gonna switch in?
Freebirds.
Is Mother Wayne gonna switch in for some matches? Like,
she looks like she could throw hands.
I don't think so.
No.
Then we moved to our main event already, which is
cue return of Marco Stunt. Then,
but he already returned.
He's back, better than ever.
But why would he? Okay,
because he's with Luchasaurus, his buddy. And then it starts the face turn for Luchasaurus again.
Because of Marco Stunt.
Because Marco starts to tell him, that you shouldn't be treated this way.
So let me get this straight. You think...
No, I know. I've seen the script.
No, you think we should have the Freebird rule for Marco Stunt.
Oh, there's precedent for it. It's
been
done.
And not Juice Robinson, really.
Correct.
Okay, that's...
Marco Stunt is greater than Juice Robinson.
We need to have some conversation later. That's so great. Next, so yeah, Swerve Strickland versus Okada, which is champion versus champion. No titles are on the line.
Weird.
None.
Right.
No title switches.
Nyla Rose gets a title shot because she exists, but Okada can't get one.
Nope.
For
Okada
being
sucks.
Okada.
Okada
Never.
sucks. No
What
title
resume does he have? What's he ever done?
What has he ever done?
Nothing.
What
What would you say you do here?
Some guy from Japan. You think you can come from Japan and get a title shot?
No chance.
That's dumb. There was a flapjack from Okada, DET on the floor from Okada. Swerve hits the rolling flatliner, transition into a suplex for 2, the usual combo. Aerial crash neckbreaker on his knee from Okada for 2, the typical. Diving elbow drop from Okada, which was pretty clean. Circuit exchange ends with the perfect drop kick from Okada.
Really nice.
Just picture perfect. And the sell from Swerve was nice.
It was.
Backbreaker from Swerve, and that he did that where you lift him up for a powerbomb, but he switches it into a scoop slam. It's just it's really cool. Swerve Stomp is a miss. Okada connects with a tombstone. Swerve avoids a Rainmaker. It's a standing Swerve Stomp. Bucks attack for the DQ. Acclaim come for a brawl. Perry attacks them from behind. Briscoe comes to brawl with Perry. Briscoe takes out the Bucks with the dive. Draping DET from Perry to Briscoe. House call to Perry. Hangman's music hits. He storms to the ring. Bit of a stare down, but Okada takes out Swerve and they brawl into the crowd while Hangman joins the rest of the cluster. Darby descends from the rafters. And the brawl closes the show, which seems to be the thing every time.
It is the thing every time. It's very...
The question is,
wrestling.
Whose music do we fight to? Oh, wait, no, it's Blood and Guts. Never mind. It's not that. I disagree. We could still do it.
One detail I liked was Hangman arriving later, right? Because
he's
not there to help the Elite. He's there to get at Swerve. That's his main thing,
I like that they kind of teased it.
And then the brawling after, whatever, it's standard stuff. Nobody's surprised by Darby. He's cleared to wrestle officially, so that's not a surprise. I thought it was a good match while it lasted, but
too short.
Again, after the epic opener,
that too.
They're not even going to try and finish this. They're not even going to try and deliver a match, which I guess kind of makes sense. So
honestly, since that one got a decisive ending, we could have had that as the main event. But at the same time, I feel like the brawling closing angle, it's like, where else do you put that?
That's what they want to end with.
So that makes sense.
So kind of a waste of a brand new matchup because they said these guys have never faced each other.
I thought so too. But
never faced each other is what I said.
Yep, that makes sense. We can easily go back to it though, so it's
True.
Okay. But I agree. I feel like it was a solid match, but they didn't get enough time. The DQ finish kind of felt like a lame cop out.
It did, and it is the go home show to Blood and Guts. So this is the visual they want to go for at the end of the show. I get that.
And I guess you don't want either of them to take a loss right now, really.
Right. We get lots of this post match brawling, so it's kind of I'm a little numb to it all, but fine.
Post-match was solid, and I fully expected Darby as the last guy, so that's fine. I wish the match itself ended better, but the post-match was solid. I was only a little disappointed that we didn't really get any Swerve Hangman brawling or whatever, but I do like that kind of teased it just to get you into next week.
Yeah. Overall, I'm kind of going from now. Obviously, the first hour of the show was fantastic because it was all a match. Second hour, kind of uneventful a little bit, right? Learning Tree was nothing we wanted to see. Monet Rose was what it was. We knew what we were getting from that. The May Storm stuff is fine. Second half of the show was not really great. I went with a B just on the strength of the first hour, and really the Learning Tree was the only thing I didn't like, and everything else was fine. So I went a B. Solid B.
I'll agree with B. The half of the show was fantastic, obviously, with the match of the year contender, maybe, at least for TV.
I just put it on the list, so
I'm meaning to. Yeah, I will. Then the second half of the show was a bit of a mixed bag. I thought May was great. Jericho sucked ass, and the main event was a little disappointing, but it ended solid. So yeah, B is fair. Solid show and a decent go home for, I guess it's a TV special, which is weird because they don't do those as much anymore.
No, I feel like they used. I kind of forgot Blood and Guts was a.
Their pay-per-views are up, so obviously it's less TV specials, which sucks because I liked Winners Coming and all that. Jazz.
Yeah, I like the special shows just because they try a little harder. It's generally a more interesting show.
TV, yeah,
NXT as well when they do it.
Yeah, so I always like that. NXT still does it a little more.
They do. Okay, so I think that was a little quicker than usual because one match was half the show. So we will move into our next segment, which is where, back to normal. Last week, Jack challenged me to trivia for the first time. Back to me challenging him with some trivia. It's what we call off the top of his head. All right, you ready? I hear new Hangman theme blaring out of
Only way I can listen to it right now.
Bleeding out of those headphones.
They put it on iTunes.
So this week is general wrestling trivia. So it's every now and then I just will search for wrestling trivia, and if I see one I don't recognize, So it's kind of all over the place. Some of them are impossible. I'm not even going to ask a couple questions because they're ridiculous. But we're going to combine. They've done 13 quizzes on this site. It's OWW, Online World of Wrestling.
Oh,
So I'm going to use.
that's how it's pronounced.
So they've got 13 quizzes. I'm going to combine a couple of the first ones and pick some of their best questions. So this one's hard already. Ready? Number 1. When Big Van Vader made a surprise appearance for TNA in 2003, who did he save from a beatdown?
I don't know. I didn't even know he was in TNA.
Dusty Rhodes. So
Sure.
I told you, some of them are impossible. So ones like that, I'm probably going to eliminate. Who was the ringmaster Steve Austin's opponent at WrestleMania 12?
Savio Vega.
Of course, you would know that immediately.
Showcase mode
Why wouldn't
2K16.
Oh, wow. There's an impossible one. You want that?
Sure.
Exact date that Steven Regal began using the name William Regal in WWE. I'll take the year even.
2001.
So close.
99.
All around it.
2000.
Correct.
Okay.
Who was Bill Goldberg's first opponent on a WWE pay-per-view in 2003?
Rock.
Correct. Who did Macho Man Savage defeat in the finals of the 1987 King of the Ring tournament?
Hacksaw.
No.
Bad News Brown.
You don't know things. Big man.
Bam Bam.
Nope.
Akeem.
Bald guy, though.
Bundy.
Correct.
What?
If this is right. I mean,
That's-
who knows?
No, I'm just saying that's weird that that's a match that happened.
Bruno Sammartino wrestled his last match at a 1987 house show, teaming with what wrestler against King Kong Bundy and One Man Gang?
David Sammartino.
Nope. Who would he pass the torch to?
Hogan.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Who won the 8-man Gold Rush tournament on Raw in May of 2005?
Edge.
Correct. How'd you know that?
Because that was that tournament where you ever see the clip of where Shawn Michaels like decapitates Shelton Benjamin with the sweet chin music, the midair,
No, probably.
like the one where Benjamin's coming like across the ring and he gets absolutely taken his head taken off. That's that tournament.
I would know this one. During the late 80s, George the Animal Steel began bringing a raggedy puppet mascot to the ring with him.
I don't know.
What did he call this?
Thing?
Close. Because it's
Pet?
George Animal Steel. He just called it Mine.
Oh, I did know that.
Nice.
When
When Mark Merrow turned heel and split with Sable, who did he choose as his new valet?
was it Luna?
No.
Jacqueline?
Correct.
Yeah.
In 2000, Shane Douglas and Buff Bagwell won a tournament for the WCW tag team titles. Who did they defeat in the finals? What a dream team.
Oh, I don't know.
Think of all-time WCWers. WCWers.
Are you saying that sarcastically?
No, I know it's hard to tell, but no.
Like an actual tag team or like two?
No, two like up super tag team.
Like
I love the next
Sting
question, by the way.
and someone?
Uh,
Yeah?
At that level, not Sting.
Oh. Luger
Yes,
and Sid.
Flair. I love this question. With whom did Rick Martel form a tag team known as the Supermodels in 1995 in an attempt to get back in the WWF?
Rick Rude?
No. I love the answer and the question. The answer is Don Callis. Because he was a wrestler, right?
He was, but like I would never know that.
Owen Hart made his WrestleMania debut as the Blue Blazer against what opponent?
Skinner.
WrestleMania 5.
That was it Skinner?
No.
Wrong match then. Okay, wait, I got it.
WrestleMania 5, Blue Blazer versus?
Hercules.
No.
Mr. Perfect.
Correct.
I knew it was something like that.
That one is
Because
impossible.
I saw it because Cultaholic has a whole thing about the golden era, so.
I think I might have
did.
gotten this one. When entering the WWE, Mickie James made a name for herself on the independent circuit, Ring of Honor, and TNA using what name?
I do know it.
I know you do.
Oh, shit. Oh, I know it.
Do you, though?
I'm gonna, when I hear it, it's like, was there something Dawn in there?
Sorry,
No.
something what?
Dawn?
No.
So I know it too.
No, Don.
Oh. I'm gonna know when I hear it. Like, it's right there.
I think I would have known it. I
What
know I
is it?
can say that because I see it.
Let me see. Or let me hear it.
First name starts with A. A-L are the initials.
I don't know.
Alexis LeRae. Right?
See, I've heard that before.
God, you don't know anything.
I've heard it before.
Who was the first wrestler to win the WWF World title under the management of Mr. Fuji? It's a good one.
Does that imply there's one before Yoko?
No.
Or is it Yoko?
It is Yoko.
I can't think of anyone else it would possibly be.
Then, what are we going to go here? Who won the Battle Royal at WrestleMania 22, which was taped exclusively for the DVD home release? So
I don't know.
Battle Royal. Think of big people around WrestleMania 22.
Kane?
No. Nobody that big on the card. They wanted him to be. Didn't work out. Big boy.
Lashes?
No.
Masters?
Viscera.
Oh, why? Ew.
What else do we have here? Who of the following was not defeated by the Undertaker at a WrestleMania event?
Easy.
Yeah?
Okay.
Bundy? Flair? Mankind? Triple H. Mankind is correct.
Yeah.
No. Weird. Let's go with one more. You don't know the triad, though, do you? I would know this one.
Jersey Triad?
Oh, maybe you do then. Okay, last one.
I don't know if I'll know this.
Which wrestler was not a member of the triad in WCW?
I think I remember who it is.
I would know this one because I like this group, actually. Diamond Dallas Page, Chris Kanyon, Chris Candido, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Candido.
Correct. The rest of them were Jersey boys.
My mistake, because I initially was thinking of the triple threat from ECW.
Okay.
Which was Douglas, Bam Bam, and was it
I don't know.
Benoit or Taz or something. And so that's what I was thinking of that. But then you said DDP, and then in Canyon, I was like, oh, that one.
Yes.
But I know it's not Candido either way, I think. Oh, wait, maybe Candido was in the triple threat. I don't know, man.
Well, you were right about that one anyway.
I got that. That was fine.
So that's going to wrap up the trivia. Just thought I'd try some.
That one was interesting. So some of those They're like
all over the place.
Why would I know it? Like, not even for me, it's like, who would know that?
Oh, and I skipped over some that were like ridiculous.
Some of them are crazy. I don't mind that because it's like a change of pace, but it's just like some of those are like what?
Here you go. Barry Horowitz briefly worked in WCW in 1990, forming a tag team with what legendary wrestler? Moondog Spot.
No, never.
Who is the primary trainer for Batista?
I don't know.
Afa.
What?
And this guy's got some deep pulls, man.
It's like that's too deep. It's like if you know that, I'm concerned for you.
Right. Okay.
That's why. That's bad.
Well, we will finish up trivia there, and we will move back into talking about whatever notable stuff we saw this week when we watched wrestling. A little less than usual since we don't have Thursday, Friday to talk about.
Sorry.
But we'll still talk about some other stuff. It's Highspots and Restholds. All right, so I guess we got to talk about Raw because that's one of the two things we can talk about at this point. So
I'm actually looking forward to it in a way.
Yeah, I watched everything eventually. I do get to the 3 hours now, but it's not in one sitting, that's for sure.
That's
so
true.
It's probably 3 sittings, but still, hey, good for you, Raw, because I'm watching everything right now. So show starts. We get a recap of Rhea Ripley returning last week. So this episode starts with Ripley in the ring talking after we sort of do the thing where we follow her walking in through the back right and out to the ring.
They've been doing
I think it looks cool
occasionally.
still.
I do like it.
It's obviously not as fresh as it was when they first did it, but it's still, I like it better than the 1,000 cuts we used to get.
Kevin Dunn.
Basically saying that Liv is walking around with the title that Ripley never lost, fair, and all Morgan has done is piss her off and she's going to rip Liv apart. Dom comes out with a black rose for Ripley, but she turns her back on him. Liv responds from the safety of backstage, right? She comes up on the Tron, reminds Ripley that Liv wanted to take everything from her and that she's closer to Dom than Ripley ever was. Mommy may be back, but Liv is on top. Ripley wants a match at SummerSlam for the title. Liv knew that this would be the case, and she's not running from it. So I like that. She's not like the chicken, right? She's like, obviously, this is what was going to happen,
yeah,
right? So
sense.
I'm fine with it. Ripley ends by saying that she will end Liv's career at SummerSlam. She ignores Dom holding the ropes for her, and she leaves. And so this is, again, the result we knew was coming. I thought everyone did a good job. I'm glad they're not portraying Liv as a coward. She's smart enough to know this is exactly where this was going. So there's a lot of interesting stories being told on Raw every week, and I think this is still one of them, right? We're getting...
Not my favorite anymore.
Like Dom's... What do you mean? Who's not your favorite?
Well,
actually, the story.
Now it's not like my third favorite.
This was never your favorite story, I don't think, was it? But I like it. Everyone's doing a good job. It's peak Liv. Dom's really good, and the crowd loves to hate him, right? So it's all working really well, I think. Then we had our Haas fight of the week. We had Bronson Reed and Sheamus. Pretty decent 10-minute match here. Sheamus won clean.
And people hate his new theme song.
Do you remember? Do you know what he used to finish off Reed this week?
Kneecap, I think.
The kneecap is back. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah,
he's been using it.
It actually looked good.
It does look solid. It's just like nerd.
So then Reed looks to attack Sheamus after the match, but Pete Dunne comes down, knocks Reed out of the ring with a kick. So then it's like Sheamus wants to thank him for help, goes to shake Dunne's hand, but Dunne leaves, only to quickly return, attack Sheamus from behind, and then Dunne sort of walks off.
He does the little like...
And leaves Reed to hit
shrug.
a tsunami on Sheamus, which always looks really impactful. So feels like we're getting Sheamus done at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Which is a solid undercard match, but
I doubt it'll be on SummerSlam.
And I put, but likely not a big win for Dunne, unfortunately.
It has to be a big win.
So go ahead.
Dunne.
You want to talk about Pete Dunne for a minute? It
must be. I'm just glad they're putting some stock in my boy.
They are, because it's very possible, like, you're a tag team, your guy's gone, you're just
They could easily have him, like...
You'll be on the shelf.
Either he's on the shelf, or he could have gotten squashed by Reed last week. He could be doing nothing.
I was going to say, or back in NXT, but he was at NXT this week.
That's how Bate got injured.
So
was he here this week?
Yep.
What did he do?
He talked to Trick. Well, he was rude to Trick.
I thought he talked to Dragunov.
Dragunov talked to Trick on the phone, and then Trick talked to Dunne in person.
Well, that's weird.
And Dunne said, I quote, figured out.
Good for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like that they're putting stock into him and like actually doing something with him and like kind of acknowledging history, but also making him like he's not Butch anymore.
Right.
And like I'm happy they're like I saw a promo from Raw Talk too, which no one cares about Raw Talk, but Pete Dunne got a little interview.
Didn't know it still existed, actually.
He was like, what he was saying. If you want to know why, ask Sheamus. And he said he's nobody's corner man, kind of like the whole Butch thing. He said he's not here to lift people up; he's here to tear them down, which I really liked. And it's a reintroduction to the Bruiserweight, which feels kind of true because like I was really happy when he came back, and that was my big victory early in the year.
It really was.
But then like I feel like they slapped the new catch crap on him, and he just kind of like he didn't become Butch again, but it just like it wasn't what I wanted. You know what I mean?
I don't think he and Bate fit that well together.
No,
frankly.
I do like it kind
of. I
of.
get it, but
it's if they had made it more as an odd couple thing, they could have.
Yes.
But like they just made it too much.
They don't feel like they should be on the same page.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like Dunne doing like having this new catch theme and like the matching gear and everything. It just didn't.
Yeah.
It never fit to me. Even though I like both of them a lot, and like in ring they're great together, obviously. But just like last week, having his theme and his own gear back, having his own person, him turning heel, like that essentially splits him from Bate, which doesn't bode well for Bate in particular because he's small.
He is.
But
big, strong boy.
So is Dunne. Like I'm not saying it's...
Bate's smaller than Dunne.
Bate's smaller than Dunne. I think Dunne also has more character potential than Bate, no offense. But I'm just happy they're like trying something with him, and like a feud to Sheamus either way is good for him because Sheamus has decent stock still.
He does.
So I hope Dunne picks up a win here, and I could see it happening. I could also easily just see them putting Sheamus over.
He wins, but
I'll be pulling for him because I'm happy they're doing stuff with him.
Yeah.
Like it's what I've been looking forward to. Like that's why I wait for every week, and that and the Wyatt vignettes.
We've always loved Pete Dunne.
Yeah, Pete Dunne's my boy.
We get another Gunther video package. Again, more about his accomplishment, and he's just condescending and superior in a good way. I really like that he's kind of like, it's everyone else's dream to come to the WWE, blah, 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 because they grew up watching it. And he's like, not me. I'm here to elevate the caliber of wrestling on this show. Like, it's not my dream to come here. They're not doing me any favors by hiring me. I'm doing them a favor by coming, right? And elevating everything. And I really think that's cool. Then we get Sonya Deville beating Zelina Vega in 3 minutes.
Shayna Baszler's not a tag team guy, damn it.
Obviously, with the help of Stark and Baszler here. Then the heels look to continue the attack after the match, and the Rave Girls and Lyra come out to make the save. And I'm very disappointed with where Lyra has settled in for the moment.
Yeah, I thought she was with them on a one-off, and I'm confused.
No, because I remember texting you and being like, nope, she's on the ramp dancing with them as they enter for their match in a little bit.
Did she do like a bird dance?
She's better than this, I feel like.
Absolutely.
It feels like we're getting a trios match, probably with I would assume the baby faces have to be fodder for the new heels here. Or maybe just other combinations of this, which we will get. So then we get Jey Uso. He assumes that Ripley is now single and wants to shoot his shot with her. Priest encourages Dom to show Jay who Ripley belongs to, as women belong to men in 2024, I guess.
Especially Rhea Ripley, of all people.
Right, yeah.
Like, come on.
So it's going to lead to a match that I don't care about because I just can't watch Jey Uso do anything at this point. I can't stand him.
Yeah,
he might be my least favorite wrestler. Not worst wrestler, but I don't think he's good as a singles either.
I don't think he's good enough to carry as a singles wrestler, and I think his character is like, it's the exact opposite of what they say it is. They say it's main event, and it's not worthy of anything.
It's awful. I hate it. Running joke that Gable has figured out, hey, I know who Uncle Howdy is, guys. It's Bo Dallas, right? That was his thing this week. He mentions it to Pierce, and then he does it again in his in-ring segment. We get Gunther and Priest in-ring. So Gunther starts out by saying a lot of accurate things. I thought, like, Priest is not living up to the prestige of the championship. Priest's reign has been nothing, etc. And then Priest says that he fought for 20 years on the street to get to this point, and that Gunther is the last person that's going to take the title from him. And this is where it turns a little bit for me, because Gunther suddenly turns to personal attacks, like living on the streets was a choice you made, basically. And that
Gunther just became racist.
And that your parents failed you, and that his parents cared enough about him to like teach him proper stuff or whatever. And he says he'll return honor and prestige to the title. Priest says at SummerSlam we'll find out that Gunther's nothing more than a boring, conceited, privileged scumbag that may. And they get face to face, and Braun Strowman enters because they're bleeding this into.
Well, and
Strowman's facing
Priest was talking about like earning for everything you had, and I'm like, where's this coming from?
Yeah,
this is like the most shoehorned babyface turn in a while.
So
like it was very clear to me. It's like this is their sudden shift. Like,
and I feel like
they changed
in their efforts to make Priest be the clear babyface. They went like beyond what Gunther usually does. Like Gunther to me shouldn't care about personal attacks.
It was so dumb.
It should just be like, I'm better than you, instead of like, haha, you were homeless, so we should feel sympathy because you're the babyface, by the way, now. But I do like the dynamic of a babyface leading a heel group. Like that's kind of weird.
That's kind of what they were doing with Ospreay and
kind of interesting.
Don Callis people. I do find it funny that it's babyface has a crew of people, and then Gunther ironically doesn't because Vinci got booted and Kaiser's injured.
Yeah. It felt like a weird departure of Gunther being for weeks of like, here's how amazing in the ring I am. Here's how all my credentials. I'm here to help everything. You were homeless. Like, it just feels like, I don't know.
I'm honestly genuinely surprised he didn't like didn't make like a border hopping joke or something like that, because it feels like right in place there.
And Priest still does lack something as champion, so I kind of agree with what Gunther was saying.
He does,
about him
absolutely.
As well.
I'm not feeling it.
So right after that, Priest beats Braun Strowman in 9 minutes with the South of Heaven. Braun selling his knee after he got tossed over the barricade. This match was pretty clunky, as you could imagine. Like, Braun can barely move at this point. You can't have one of his signature spots involve him sprinting around the ring, especially when you brought in a different guy with the same name who does the same thing 50 times faster. It looks so stupid.
Because he's faster, B, because his spear is cooler than a shoulder tackle.
Braun Strowman looks like he can barely walk to the ring now. And I'm not trying to make fun of him. He just looks awfully immobile. And they're still making him, quote-unquote, run around the ring. It seems kind of mean, to be honest. He's not good, man. There's nothing I want to see Braun Strowman do at this point. Maybe ever, I guess. I don't know. I never really was a fan. Maxine, Otis, and Tozawa won't help Gable, who's still looking for help because the Wyatt Six are after him, but they are very quick to offer their services to help Xavier Woods against Final Testament. Wow, there's a lower card story that is not interesting.
Oh my God, I forgot to tell you, I was like going through Instagram Reels or whatever, and I saw this one girl, and it looked exactly like Maxine. It was crazy. Like just some random, I don't even remember
AI
what
generated?
she was doing. Maybe. Like it looked exactly like her. It was crazy.
Stephanie Vaquer is mentioned and shown here as they highlight some of their time in Mexico.
Yeah, she debuted in house shows. I know one of her, I don't know if she had multiple matches. I know she beat Isla Dawn in one, if there's multiple.
I'm excited for her to get into NXT if that's where she ends up, because then I'll get to see her.
Women's tag champ loses immediately to new person. Just worth pointing out.
Could be. Baszler and Stark beat the Rave Girls in a perfectly fine 10-minute tag match. with their finishing move. Did you see that?
Is it like the powerbomb drop in the knee?
No, it's like an alley-oop into a knee strike from Baszler. It looked good.
Yeah,
it looked
that's
like
what
it
I'm talking about. It's
knocked him out.
Stark has her up in a powerbomb, drops her into a knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Baszler's not a tag guy. This is outrageous. In what universe should she be playing second fiddle to Sonya Deville? Sonya Deville's been a tag team guy for ages.
I'm more annoyed that Lyra came out and seconded for the Rave
I don't
Girls.
care about that. She can dance however much she wants. Baszler deserves damn respect, okay?
But she's never going to get it, so you're just like...
I don't care. I got Pete Dunne.
into the wind at this
I got
point.
Pete Dunne, so I can do this, all right?
Yeah, okay.
Because Deville's been a tag team guy forever. She won the tag titles with Chelsea Green. She teamed with Chelsea Green, and she teamed with Mandy Rose. In what universe should she be leading a faction? She was a second in a faction with Paige. Soraya. Like...
Daria Baronato.
Stupid.
Another storyline I'm enjoying, Drew McIntyre's in the ring having a meeting with Adam Pearce, I believe, right?
That is the name.
And this is funny because Drew wants the match with Punk, obviously. He's like, I want it more than anything. Punk wants it more than anything. Make it happen. Pearce, in a flip of what happened last week where Punk was trying so hard to apologize, now Pearce is making Drew apologize to the referees he assaulted at Money in the Bank, I guess.
Did he beat up referees?
Drew, he like shoved them or whatever after the match at ringside. Drew refuses, shoves the ref out of the ring before getting in Pearce's face. Rollins has to come out. He super kicks Drew to end the segment. Again, Drew was really good here. Pearce is good in like the sort of super generic.
He's pretty good at playing like a straight man, yeah.
Right. Like he's not taking any spotlight from anybody.
And he's never like overly biased.
He's like
either,
tofu.
Yeah.
He's just there.
Him and Aldis do that.
Absorbing.
Pretty much both of them are the same. Yeah.
And you can really sense the frustration of Drew, right? He believes he's getting screwed over time after time after time. And I don't disagree with him either, which is the only problem because he's supposed to be the heel. I'm not supposed to be sympathizing with him.
Yeah.
And it's just unfair that he's being forced to apologize here and Punk was not and could not, right?
Yeah, he didn't even have to, and he still.
So where do you think the Drew Rollins stuff is going, though?
I've seen people touting a three-way.
Okay.
Which would be pretty interesting to do a three-way feud for no title.
It would.
But I think it's doable.
I think so, too. Because I've said it before, Punk Drew doesn't need to be for anything at this point now.
Punk Drew is a feud, Punk Rollins is a feud, Drew and Rollins already feuded, so it's all there.
I like it. I'm okay with it. Another Wyatt VHS tape. So this was they show us.
Oh, this one was sad, man.
Pat McAfee is doing his podcast thing, and Nikki Cross, or just the tape shows up.
I didn't see that part. Just this one was heartbreaking, though.
That is literally, this one is Rowan telling this story, and it's heartbreaking. So,
oh man,
basically, how, long story short, two of his closest friends die young in the past.
The line that got me was like, because he's talking about both of them dying, right? Like he was Brody dies, and he was just getting over that. Then he loses Bray, and he said something like he didn't have purpose. And he was like, "I'm just Rowan. No one's gonna remember me," and that's just. It was so tough. Sad, man.
Because it's basically like, I've hitched my wagon to these two guys because they're the stars, and no one cares about me, and they're both dead.
That was brutal.
And
man.
he's like, he's this mountain of a man, just like crying, basically. Right?
Yeah, in
so
this dark room.
Tough to watch.
It was. Like, it's fantastically done, and I love it. But
the emotion he conveyed here, because it was real, I'm sure this was not really much acting, was incredible.
It was amazing. And it's just like, I can't get over it.
And then he's handed the old sheep mask, and he says it gives him hope, right? And that they're going to take their broken hearts and make some beautiful art. So my only complaint is, how do you follow this? Because obviously, not obviously, but I assume
you could do Loomis and Gacy and Nikki, right?
That they're coming next. And how do you follow the first two? My brother died. It was our dream to work together.
My other brother died.
Did, and then he died. My two best friends in my wrestling family both died in 3. So where Loomis the way didn't work out for me very well, and Gacy the schism was a failure.
I'm sure those will be good because they've been bad in 1,000 so far, but it's like you can't follow that.
This one should have been
this
last,
one was
maybe?
Almost as bad as Bo. Oh, it was so sad.
Fantastic segment. Really smart choice to do this for each of them because it prolongs things, adds depth to each character.
And it's weird because it's like, are they baby faces or not?
Keeps them out of the ring because that's where I worry.
Are they baby faces?
This is not a group of technicians, dude.
No.
Where are we
Gacy's
going?
solid. Gacy's pretty good.
Loomis,
I don't love in ring.
Bo Dallas.
Dallas is solid.
Solid. Is that what we're going for?
I guess. Rowan was a good big man. We like that one match.
We did one match, yes.
But I'll take it. But yeah, no, this is...
I fear this is and then the bell rings.
We'll see, I guess, right? And like... It's just weird because it's like they're baby faces, but they're also like... it's just weird that they're baby faces. Like, it makes sense because it's like, how do you root against them? But I guess. Like, and they're feeding Gable, who's like a megalomaniac right now.
Yes.
But... it's just like, it's weird that they're baby faces, you know what I mean?
It is.
But like, this was really great. Like, it was
awesome.
Oh, so sad.
If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
If you're a crier, though, get some tissues.
It was really sad.
It almost got me.
Really
sad. Was brutal.
Jey Uso beat Dom with a splash.
I don't even love Dom, but like, that sucks.
I think I found something to do while that match was on. Liv comes down. Dom gets kicked off the apron into yet another suggestive pose, obviously with Liv.
I did see that.
Ripley's music hits. She comes out as Liv runs away through the crowd, which I thought was good. All makes sense. It was exactly what you'd expect here. A little later, Ripley gives Dom a black rose and explains that she doesn't belong to anyone, but Dom belongs to her. So suddenly seems like she's okay. I don't know. All is forgiven. We'll see, I guess. Chad Gable heads to the ring and calls out Bo Dallas because he's like, hey, guys, guess what? I know who Uncle Howdy is. So,
I mean, if anything, does that not just mean like he's watching TV? He's watching the television. Because in kayfabe, obviously, like, because in real life, obviously, we all knew it was Bo Dallas back when like Bray was still alive, right? So, like, in kayfabe, he would have seen that second vignette where it kind of like confirms that they're one and alike. Or one and the same.
They don't watch TV. NXT is full of murderers and stuff that they could be watching.
Well, I'm saying Gable does here.
Abductions
so, like,
and murders.
In theory, I guess it makes sense that he now knows. I mean, or like, obviously he still looks dumb for like being like, oh, hey guys, I figured it out. But at least it's like it makes sense that he's watching the product.
And he's just that bumbling detective. Can you pass me the charge?
That makes sense for Gable. He can pull that off. He's like the angle type.
So...
I forget
Bo comes out as himself.
No, it's this side, right?
Yeah, in the Wyatt shirt that you bought.
Yeah, I
last
got.
week.
Damn it!
And the Creeds attack to kind of no reaction, unfortunately.
Yeah, for however excited everyone was for that, because I've been looking forward to Team Gable.
So the rest of the Wyatts come out. The Creeds leave. Wyatt's
I heard the
ring.
beatdown in Dallas is pretty good.
So happy for the Gable Creed reunion, and I like the Wyatt 6. That's still,
Dallas looks great in this role for sure,
and it's still real people, not supernatural beings.
That is what they've done really well. Because like Rowan is still Rowan.
That's the other reason I'm happy with that vignette, because it's like I'm a real person. Like clearly, I'm telling you, my friends in this business died, right? So I like that.
For sure.
Last thing for I have is Zayn and Dragunov. We're having a pretty good 11-minute match.
Predictable. And
main event. Breaker comes out, does his running down the ramp around the ring. Not the best spear on Dragunov.
No,
ever.
It's like he almost comes with too much velocity or something to like for them to take it normally.
Yes. So almost looked like Dragunov kind of hurt his leg or something, but he seems okay.
Yeah. It looked like he kind of like fell as it was, you know what I mean?
So leads to a DQ. Zayn tries to stop Braun, but he can't. Braun takes him out in the ring with a spear, stands over Zayn to end the show. So again, booking Braun Breaker to look like a monster, right? To end this episode. I feel like
it's got to be a triple threat. If Kaiser's healthy, I would love a 4-way, but I don't know if he is.
I think Breaker probably wins.
I think he wins.
Not to spoil my picks, but
it's kind of weird because he got defeated in pretty like simple fashion at Money in the Bank, which is again why I don't love that match, because it's like he just kind of got down by one kick, and so now you're telling me he has to deal with that and Dragunov of all people.
Dragunov.
If Dragunov somehow won it, I'd be okay.
Me too.
Like
anyone could win that when I'm okay.
Even if Zayn wins it, I'm okay with that.
Should be fun. Moving into NXT from Tuesday.
Gross. Sorry.
Rascals in the opener against Gallus. So Rascals get a lot in the beginning. I saw some
cool clips from Trey Miguel.
They isolate Joe. Then Gallus take control of Wesley after a Wolfgang blind tag. Things break down. All 6 end up down. Hendry's music hits. He makes his way to the ring. Joins commentary. Booker T hates him, obviously. Wentz hot tag. He cleans house. Stupid triple basement dropkick spot by the Rascals that took forever to set up and looked mid at best. Rascals stay in control, fly around the ring to the floor. Stomp into a burning hammer, ? Don't know if that's the best description.
It was like, I've seen it. It was like a diving double foot stomp from Wes into like kind of a double burning hammer from the other two. Or like,
that's pretty right.
Which is the burning hammer from New Catch. Right. Glad that's done.
Rascals win in about 10 minutes. Solid 6-man tag as you'd expect. Really a showcase for the Rascals. I felt like Gallus didn't get a ton. Good contrast to styles though. And Rascals kind of near the beginning, I think it was, did a very common machine gun sequence. So I'm wondering
saw
if that
it was kind of similar to what they've done.
Super similar. The one where it's like
the front chancery into the
correct.
drop. Yeah, I saw
very
that.
similar. So I'm wondering if that means anything.
Could be. Or that's like when remember Nick Jackson did the corner knee and everyone's like, "Oh, CM Punk's coming." That was different because it's like I don't know if they've done this before because I don't watch TNA. So like
they do a bunch of tandem stuff, but
so I don't know.
Chase Hugh are confident that Duke Hudson can beat Obafemi. Agree to disagree.
Yeah, respectfully.
Ethan Page will defend the title in a match against Dante Chen tonight. The match was made in a segment with Ava, Mensa, and Page in her office. So basically, Mensa has been harassing Paige, wants a title match.
So weird.
And Ava's like cold. She's like, "You're not in the title picture," which of course, but
it's fair. But
yeah.
Like,
so Paige chooses to defend the title against. She's like, "You'll have it, but you will have a title match, just not against him." And he's like, "Okay, I'll defend against Dante Chen," which I thought was pretty funny. However, I told you I'm not the biggest fan. Basically, Paige is ducking Oro Mensah.
I don't like it either.
So,
I saw the Phantom pin too.
I have no problem with Oro Mensah, but the way he's been presented,
he should not be taking out Ego.
It feels like they just swapped him out for Dar.
I think they absolutely did
because Dar got hurt, and this would have been kind of cool with Dar.
If it were for Dar, absolutely, I love Dar, and I think Dar is. Since he's not doing the cup anymore, he's top title for sure. It's kind of like Wesley,
has
where
no
you can't
pedigree, right? Like he hasn't done anything.
No, and I think like you would have been better off just doing it with someone completely unaffiliated from Metaphor. Because is Metaphor really essential to the story?
No.
So then you could have picked anybody else.
Correct.
Not Oro. Why not even pick Wesley? Dare I say? Like, because then Wesley could have moved up. I don't know. Like it just really doesn't make sense.
There's no Universe Mensa wins. The match might be fine, but like there's no heat there.
No.
Anyways, Roxanne's in the ring. She's pissed that people gave Vice a standing ovation when Vice lost the match to Perez.
Did no such thing.
I didn't.
Did
we
not
were disappointed. 2.5 stars, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I did not do that, so she's not mad at me.
Roxanne starts talking about Charlotte, saying that she is on pace to shatter all of Charlotte's records.
That's not good.
Please don't summon her.
That's what I was about to say.
I know.
With Joe Hendry coming. No? Okay.
No.
You can't be doing that.
No.
Because she's going to come back. And now that Andrade's here, like, don't do that.
I agree.
Especially don't bring her to NXT. She doesn't need to go back there again.
She mentions the internet's obsession with Julia, so that's the first time that's kind of thrown out there.
Actually, you can summon her. That's fine.
She laughs about Thea Hale being her next opponent. Hale doesn't like that.
Sorry, why is that decided that she's the next opponent? Is that just assumed, or was there something
I think there was something.
There's some contender thing that I missed, because there's only been like a couple weeks since Heat Wave.
Was there?
I don't think so, unless there was a match last week.
I don't remember.
I feel like you'd remember Battle Royal.
Who knows? Hale comes out, says that she used to look up to Roxanne and thought they were similar in that people underestimate and doubt them. Now Perez doubts her. She'll beat Perez at Great American Bash.
I heard Hale talking before I came into the room, and I thought it was Cora Jade.
You wish.
And I thought it was because I knew it was Perez, so I was like, I thought they might be doing that.
Perez tells Hale she's not ready, and she'll spiral when she loses her title shot. The title is not for children, and Thea Hale is a little girl. Hale attacks, holds encounters, end in a Hale Kimura until Holland
holds encounters in a segment's weird.
Holland shows up and pulls Hale off. Because it's like they're submission people.
I guess, yeah. But I guess they are now. It's weird that, like, Hale needed a Kimura for a submission match, and now it's just been her thing forever.
That's her
And then
thing.
I guess Perez has been adopting the crippler crossface.
Yes, because she's a heel. Killer. So yeah, this generates some heat for their match, I guess.
I was saying, I think I said to you, right? Like, you were like, who's next? And I think I said Hale, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think it kind of makes sense.
Hale tried to be a little more serious here, which I think is good for her to try and branch out from the scrappy do stuff.
I feel like you could try to give her a run with the title.
Yeah, you could.
I could see it happening.
Perez seems like she does the same promo a lot right now, basically.
Yeah.
Like, no one's on my level, blah, blah,
You're
blah.
not good enough.
It's really subtle variations like of the same theme, same
Yeah,
talking
she seems
points.
pretty, like, one note or close to it.
So, I don't know. They put two developmental people on a live mic here, so you get what you get. It wasn't terrible. Wendy Chu is staring at Kalani Jordan's North American title as Jordan talks about her title match at Heatwave.
Bad actor.
And again, Chu is not the type that we would put into this division, probably, right?
She was not the type I'd put anywhere.
She can be a win on Jordan's resume,
Yeah,
I assume.
I guess so.
Lola's interrupted and bullied by Henley, JC Jane, and Jasmine Nix.
They don't like rookies.
And I like it because Lola points out that Henley's current I hate rookies gimmick is stupid because Nix is as big a rookie as anyone.
Bigger rookie than Lola.
And then I forget what happened after that. Probably an upcoming match or something. Right?
I thought Jane ditched the second mask, but she was holding the Cody mask, I think.
Nice. Javon Evans takes on the returning Brooks Jensen.
Jack Perry light.
And Briggs is seconding Jensen since he's the one that vouched for him. He feels like his job is very much dependent on Jensen not causing trouble.
Which he already did.
Evans has his rib taped from the various table spots he's taken lately, right? So Evans at one point leaps from the floor to the first rope for the springboard moonsault.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, you were watching this. Evans is dropped midsection first on the announce table again, looked good, and then
like an RVD style leg drop from
twisting
the
leg drop by Jensen.
Cool.
Off
he mostly hit him
apron.
on the back, but the camera angle made it look like he hit it better.
It looked solid.
It was good. They did give us a top-down view.
Commentary tell us Jensen is more physical and intent on hurting, which I wish there was a little.
Lame.
I wish there was a little more show and less tell because I wasn't picking up. I mean, a little bit, but anyways, I'll get there. Spears comes out.
He's wearing jeans. That's NXT code for serious. Okay,
Jensen,
have you learned nothing?
He always did. Spears comes out as Jensen hits a neutralizer. Jeans. Jensen's distracted on the floor talking to Briggs. Evans with a huge springboard cutter for the win in 9 minutes. That looked
pretty crazy, the height he got on that.
He's nuts. Jensen looks to attack Evans after the match, but Briggs stops him while screaming about how Jensen could cost him his job since he vouched for him. So another clear contrast to styles because you got super bouncy Evans and the like smash mouth sort of Jensen. Bouncy. A fine match. Didn't really get... I find like Jensen wasn't really presented like a vicious heel that they're basically
not
telling
from what
us
I saw. No, it kind of was a little light. And like I've seen people comparing him to Jack Perry. I think partially on looks, but like there are some similarities. And it's definitely Jack Perry light. But yeah, like nothing really wowed me here. Like it didn't feel overly like he had this new look or like.
No, he went after Evans' taped ribs, hit a couple nice things on the announce table, but this happens in a ton of matches. This wasn't like exceedingly
and like
vicious.
For someone who was like trying to be vicious last week, you could have. This was his excuse to kind of.
He should have taken a DQ, beating the kid with a chair or something. I don't know. Anyways, I thought the choices were strange here. Segment I did not enjoy. Charlie Dempsey is seeking Tony D'Angelo's advice on hypothetically, if somebody saw you killing somebody.
Actually asking for advice because I think I was paying attention to this one.
And then Tony says, you take him swimming. And then Dempsey's kind of clarifies that the witness is a woman. And now Tony's like, you're on your own. So murder stops at women. Can't murder women.
Isn't that...
It's 2024. You got to murder women as quickly as you do.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't that sexist? It's sexist if you don't try to murder the woman.
Yeah. So it's just really stupid. Tony, I guess because he won't murder women, he's a baby. Is that what it takes?
Okay, so we've established the distinction here.
Right.
There are both groups willing to murder people.
But not women. That's the line.
Dempsey is trying to kill a woman, and meanwhile, Tony D employs a woman.
So I said at least Dempsey can get away from this when he heads to Japan. Because this is not good storytelling.
Is he going to Japan? Isn't it Tavion?
Isn't he going too? Or he's just Bloodsport?
He's Bloodsport.
Not Japan?
Tavion's going.
Damn.
Tavion and Briggs.
So Trick, as I told you, wants some advice from Dragunov. I think he's FaceTiming him because he's upset about losing the title. And Trick's like, I don't really know how to help you. I'm not really there. I'm not sure how I can help. So Trick turns to Pete Dunne, who's in the locker room with him.
Why is Pete Dunne there?
And Dunne just tells him to figure it out.
Pete Dunne's a heel now. We don't help
That's
chumps
what he
like
was.
Trick.
It was him going, I'm not helping you. I don't care.
Why should he be there?
Ethan Page.
God, if there's a universe where Pete Dunne loses to Trick Williams, I'm going to lose my cool.
Believe it or not, Ethan Page successfully defended his title against Dante Chen.
Yeah, I'm going to have to sell this because I bet my money on Dante Chen.
He hit the Ego's edge in 4 minutes. And Chen got like a roll up and an inside cradle to make it feel like he had a shot, I guess, but obviously didn't. Oro Mensah again attacks after and quote unquote pins Ethan Page.
I think this is
Phantom pin.
I saw Jensen and Javon, and then I think I know I saw this, so I don't know what was happening. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
So, and this doesn't make any sense to me because people attack other people all the time, but Mensah holds a grudge because this is all because he attacked Mensah and Noam Dar like forever ago.
And
right?
then something story about his grandpa. What was it? I don't even remember.
Yeah, his grandpa getting burned and having to go to Sweden or something. But again, this is a low carder tangled up with your main event champion. So it doesn't, I don't know, it seems weird to me.
Not to the best start for Paige.
My next note says Gallus summoned Joe Hendry and Jack laughs a little.
That was pretty funny.
Hendry says he likes it in NXT and is sticking around. Joe says when people think of Scotland, they think of Gallus or Drew McIntyre. Hendry, somehow he feels like a bigger star in NXT than he did in TNA, and he should be like top of the card for them, and he's just like a guest here. So it kind of doesn't make sense to me.
It is odd.
Anyways, Tatum Paxley picked up a big win. She pinned Izzy Dame with the Psycho Trap. Jack, not a fan.
Just looks like convoluted.
After 4 minutes.
It's dumb.
And part of the
It's
problem
a worse
is
version of the spiral tap.
it doesn't.
No, not spiral tap.
I thought it like was going to end in a stronger looking pinning predicament, but it doesn't.
But then you were like, oh, it looks hard to kick out of, and then the replay, and I was like, her shoulders are
right there.
wide open.
Yeah. Chu came out partway through this. After the match, she had. I forgot there was this. I forget when it happened, but there was like a head getting ripped off a Barbie, and so Chu has the body, Paxley has the head, and they put them together. So is this like a spooky union NXT tag team now? And Izzy Dame is just adrift since James.
Which I find confusing because honestly, I don't think Kiana James is really a great call-up.
And she's dating a super megastar now, as per my breaking news segment.
Breaking, nice.
No pun intended. So anyway, Cedric Alexander and Ashanti The Adonis are in NXT as of last week. And Ashanti is distracted by all the beautiful women.
This reminds me of like when Trick and Mello kind of acting like that back in 2.0 when everyone was obsessed with someone else. Or like, back in the 2.0 days when everything was stupid.
Everything was Degrassi Junior High.
Yeah. Back when they killed my will to live.
So Ashanti wants to talk to Jakara Jackson and not Lash because Lash is very quick to be like, no.
Well, she's probably still not over.
But Oro Mensah shows up and he's not having it because, women need to be defended, I guess, by...
Or murdered, depending on your case.
So I guess this is a simple way to set up Adonis's first angle or match or whatever's happening here. I don't even remember if he can wrestle or not. I know Cedric can. I used to watch him in Ring of Honor back in the day.
Underrated. Well, and he was in the CWC. Remember that's what got him signed.
That's what. Yeah.
So yeah, he can
Ashanti,
go.
I don't remember honestly.
I think he's fine. Like, cause he was never the worst one in Hit Row, but that was a faction with Top Dollar and B-Fab. So that's like saying he was the second best by default.
Right. How dare you? B-Fab is a national treasure.
She's still signed, so I guess.
Lola Vice defeated JC Jane in 3 minutes with a back fist. Vice got in a bunch of kicks, a hip attack. Jane got in very little here.
Oh, this was mid.
Henley attacks the rookie Lola Vice after the match. Nix and Jane
she hates
join in.
All rookies. All of them.
Who comes down for the save? More rookies. Petrovic and Sol Ruka. They make the save. Faces clear the ring. So to me, I'm like, this slots Lola Vice. She is above JC Jane, but below Perez.
Yeah.
That's where she is right now.
I was saying to you, this is like Outcast Originals Light.
It is.
Which
it's not good.
Is not good because I already hated that.
Light version of that.
It's like...
Although the light version means maybe it's not as like prevalent.
Which would
make it
inherently
better.
Makes it less bad.
Right.
Yeah, because then like...
If it gets as much time, it
can't possibly be as bad. No. Although the acting and character work is worse, so you could argue it can be worse. So it's like Catch-22.
Yeah, whose acting did you love?
Jordan, I don't know if we got to that part yet.
Oh, it's coming. So I did note here there's a whole lot of 3 and 4 minute matches on this show. 2.0 vibes. Also not a good thing. Which has
never been a good thing in the history of man.
No, it hasn't. So here you go. Kalani Jordan won't play dolls with Paxley. I put Jack likes the acting.
She's so bad. The way that she talks is
not good.
I can't even quantify it in words.
It's not how real people talk.
Yeah, she was just like... it was something like, I don't want to play with dolls. We're grown women or something like that. And she's like, she always say something girl, and it's like
you just did a better job.
Yeah, probably
Sign him up.
Like, I don't know. You just got to see it. It's just so, her delivery is just so plastic. I don't know. Or like, just like, no, cardboard is the word. Like,
wooden?
Like, wooden. Yes, that. She's not mellow.
She's not. So looks like Paxley's win over Dame was to get her momentum to get in the North American.
I do think she
spot.
makes sense in that division.
She does. That's more of the people we would put there than Wendy Chu.
She should team with Fallon Henley because she's not a rookie.
True.
Is she? I don't. What's the quantification here?
Who's not a rookie? Paxley.
Paxley. She's been there long enough. Right? I think
she's been there.
You have to be there since 2.0 or something because that's been Henley and Jane.
I guess. Ethan Page says Mensah's pin didn't count, obviously, and that it doesn't bother him, even though it clearly does.
And then you say,
but it shouldn't.
Again. Like Page can sell it well, and like his acting's good here, unlike Jordan. But it's stupid.
And again, if you imagine Dar doing this instead of Mensah, it would be so much more fun. Because Dar having a visual pin,
I love Dar.
He would make it a big deal, right?
Then who's the babyface? Because Dar's just I don't know.
Well, they were sort of being positioned as baby faces, I think.
Yeah.
Metaphor.
That's true.
Good Brothers helped the young guys yet again by beating OTM clean with the Magic Killer in 6 minutes. To be fair, this was mixed tag, so I think it's possible OTM could get a win back in a tag match somewhere.
Didn't they already win, or was that Jada Parker beating Meechin that I'm thinking about? Didn't OTM and OC already have a match, though?
Probably.
Yeah, because didn't last week they had a match, and then it was Tyreek and Tyson against Gallus? Those are the two tag matches last week?
It was. So this actually had women and men interacting. By that, I mean men taking offense from women. But that's...
When's it not that?
At least something. The action itself was fine, nothing more. Sorry, Meechin. She looks like watching someone good at 3/4 speed.
I never thought she was good. I never liked her.
No, but it's like if you took someone good and just slowed them down.
Yeah, no, she's...
What's stopping her from being good is how deliberate everything is. Like we were saying, her little sequence of kicks, if you like contrast that directly to Pac, one after the other, it's going to look
that's
crazy.
Unfair.
True, I am taking like the best at it, but
your favorite.
Pick anyone. Ren Sinclair wants to join the No Quarter
This
Catch
was
crew.
the part I thought you were talking about earlier with MC, but
she keeps trying to shoot on Bourne, like trying to take him down because she wants in the group, and it made me laugh quite a bit for some reason. So, is this where it's going? Like they want to make her disappear, but she like endears herself to them instead?
A little bit, yeah. Or like she kind of wormed her way in there. I don't know.
We'll see where it goes. But I don't know. She made me laugh by trying to take down Bourne in this little interaction. Then it's just the main event. It's Obafemi. He retains the North American title with his finishing power bomb that he's now given a name, which I'll get to. It's in my notes somewhere.
Wasn't it the fall from grace or
yes,
something?
it is.
Like
so 12-minute match.
I was just thinking if Jordan Grace needed a name or Ariana Grace needed a name, you should have done something like that.
Yeah.
Or something with the word graceful.
You tried to watch this with me, but the internet was crapping out upstairs. Yeah. Very much frustration. So Hudson hit a slingshot dive to the floor, and that kind of outside-in German he does where he jumps over the ropes directly into, and his stratisfaction with it, I think still looks kind of silly, but anyways. Femi stops Hudson cold with a chokeslam for 2, goes for something in the corner, but Hudson counters with a sunset bomb for a near fall. Femi throws Hudson on the announce table, follows up with his fall from Grace back in the ring for the win. Pretty good hoss fight, solid main event. Outcome never in doubt. Femi looks good. It was nice to see him hitting some of his power stuff to someone big, because it's been a lot of smaller guys.
Visual.
So it's kind of impressive. And Hudson's a good hand. Probably helped Femi to have a pretty decent TV main event here. And he got some nice offense in along the way. So that's the main event. But then we get a final little vignette. It's Jensen and Briggs walking out of the building. Jensen is blaming Briggs for his loss earlier in the night. Jensen basically wants a match with Briggs, and Briggs is like, man, we've already done that, and it didn't work out well for you, so I don't want to put you through that again. And Jensen just looks at him and goes, no DQ, and then drives off. So I guess that's a no DQ at Great American Bash.
Probably, considering it's just a TV special.
Which could be fun if those two guys are willing to just kill each other with stuff, although it's WWE, so it'll be a little bit light. But and that is all I have. Do you have it? You don't have any figure stuff, or do you?
No, it was just the Comic-Con Omega that they revealed, which
you showed me.
Yeah, it got some
Captain
special
America.
Packaging. Yeah, it's Omega from Anarchy in the Arena last year, I think it was.
Right.
So it's cool. I won't be able to get it because it's only there.
Right. I think that's going to bring us to the end of what is a pretty we've had it in that range before. We're coming up on an hour. 40.
Maybe not in a while, but
so we made it work. I'm glad. We're still going to get an episode out there. I don't think we've missed one Saturday yet. So I hope you enjoyed 209. We will definitely be back for 210 next week. And until then, everybody, take care.